Welcome to the Raider Talks game preview. I'm your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. Make sure to stick around to the end for our keys to the game, our offensive and defensive player of the game prediction for the Raiders, along with our score predictions. Raiders, Chargers on Thursday Night Football. Two struggling football teams, two teams that may be out of it when it comes to the playoff race.
Yeah.
But if they lose this game, one of these teams, then they're really, really out of it. Nick, how are you feeling heading into this football game?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an AOC West showdown. You know, losers guaranteed a losing season. Winner holds on to the little hope that they have for this season. We don't know who's quarterbacking. Their quarterback two is going to be in. But like I said, it's an AFC West showdown. These are always fun, so we'll see.
Before we dive deep into this game preview, we're going to talk a little bit about the Raider Viking game. Not a lot about it, but we weren't able to come on. I was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Nick was in Fresno. I had this set up to do a show, but after watching that game, I was like, this is gonna be tough to do. I need to talk with Nick, and we need to discuss this together. But what an ugly game by the Raiders. I thought this team was gonna come out with a sense of urgency out of the bye, and they didn't offensively. And Bill Hardigree, the play caller, was not good.
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce didn't come out with a sense of urgency. And telling Bill Hardigree we need to throw the ball downfield, we need to do these things. So it was bad. It was pretty bad.
It was really bad. And I don't know how many exact drives that we had, but only really one was a good one. And then we fumbled on our 15 or their 15, their 20. It was just horrible, and it felt like we needed a turnover in our territory so that we can get the ball and kick a field goal. It just seemed like it was nothing to get going. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't throw the ball. It was just a sad day for the offense.
Yeah, it was very sad. A beautiful game by the defense that only gave up 3 and lost the game. That's always tough to do. That's always tough. That's just always tough for a defense.
I've never seen the Raiders only give up 3. And for them to just do that, and they were getting off the field, getting stops, and it just seemed like, if they were coming down, like, hey, we're going to stop them, get the ball back, like, everything was working well. Just that one drive, it sucked. They played well. They played really good, and for them to lose like that, it just sucked.
They played great. I mean, Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, the future of the Raiders defensive line looks bright.
Yeah,
very bright. This looks like an elite defensive line. Not just Max Crosby now. It's the whole line playing very good.
And that's what's good to see.
And it's obviously led by Mad Max, who is playing hurt and just playing like an animal still. So to see the Raiders lose like that and Max Crosby playing hurt, it sucks to see because Max is giving it his all.
Yeah.
Every play, despite he's going to need surgery at the end of the year. Despite needing surgery at the end of the year, he's playing still, and to lose like that sucks.
It sucks.
It really does suck. Yeah. Let's talk about this upcoming Raider game, Raiders versus the Chargers. It's an ugly game, Nick. It's an ugly game on paper. The Raiders can go out with Aiden O'Connell or Jimmy G. Chargers are going to go out with Easton Stick from North Dakota State. Herbert got hurt last game.
Yeah.
So this is a bad...
This is a weird game.
It's a weird game. Kind of a bad primetime game.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I mean, we don't know who our quarterback is going. We don't know if Josh Jacobs is going to play. Colton Miller's probably going to be out. On their side, Keenan Allen's out. They're rolling with Easton Stick. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be interesting. And this game could be one of those 10-7 ball games, or since it's an AFC West showdown, all of a sudden both teams spark up, and now it's a shootout, 28-30 something. But I don't know. I don't know what kind of game we're in for tomorrow night.
Yeah, at this moment in time, I'm not excited for this game. But, once the TV comes on, once you see the Raiders wearing that black and silver, once you see the Chargers on the other side, you start thinking, I hate the Chargers. I don't like the Charger fans.
Yes,
they frustrate us. Let's beat this team. Let's beat them, and let's beat them up good. But, another part of you is like, I really want a good draft pick also. But... obviously as Raider fans, once that game starts, we're going to be excited. We're going to be pumped up. We're going to want this Raider team to win. And during the game, we're going to hold out hope that maybe something happens. Maybe some playoff stuff happens, even though it's probably it's not going to happen.
No, you're absolutely right.
So it's kind of a weird game going into it as a fan.
Yeah, this is just mixed emotions. Like, just a couple days ago, we lost 3-0. And usually with the game being played on Sunday, around, Wednesday, Thursday, we talk and we're now pumped up, we're excited. We're fresh off this loss, and then we play tomorrow. So it's just like, I don't know what we want. Right now, I think we hold like the 6th or 7th draft position.
Yep.
We desperately need a quarterback. I mean, that's something that we'll get into the offseason. So you don't know, but you're always just rooting on your Raiders. You always want them to win. So I'm just, let tomorrow come, I guess.
You obviously know this Raider team's going to try to win. They're going to try to win really badly, led by Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce needs wins.
Yes.
He needs wins on his resume to try to get that job next year. It obviously depends on Mark Davis and what he's thinking. Is Mark Davis going to keep Champ Kelly as the GM? Does he know that for a fact? Because it depends on what Champ Kelly's thinking as well. But Mark Davis can be thinking many different ways here. He can be thinking the Raiders are playing good defense. He's a defensive-minded coach. I want him for next year.
Yeah.
He just needs to play good defense. Or Mark can be thinking like he needs to win. He needs to win a couple games for me to show me that he can win in this league and win next year and win consistently. He's going to need to show me that he needs to win. Or he might be thinking like, you know what? I really like Jaden Daniels. He's cool with Jaden Daniels. We're for sure going to get Jaden Daniels if we have Antonio Pierce. So I'm going to keep Antonio Pierce. So it's a weird situation going on in Vegas with the head coaching job.
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce, I don't think has done a great job. I don't think he's done a really a bad job. He's just done a mediocre job as the Raider coach.
No, you're absolutely right. We don't know what Mark Davis is thinking. He could already have his mind made up. Hey, AP's the guy no matter what. And like you said, with Jaden Daniels and how this defense is playing, he's a defensive coach. Hey, my mind's made up. It's him. It could be he's got something to prove, or he could already have his mind made up about who the next head coach is, and it's someone outside of the Raiders. So it is. It's going to be interesting to see. And he's still on a 4-game tryout.
Yeah, but with this situation, Antonio Pierce is going out trying to win.
Yeah.
And is going to coach with urgency. And Bo Hardigree, the play caller, I think he's done. I think he's not going to get hired back to be the offensive play caller. I think he has failed. He had the opportunity to you said it. We had the opportunity to be in first place this week with some Chiefs losses and some other losses in the AFC.
League, yeah.
But the Raiders are in last place.
And it's not crazy to think, well, this happened or this happened. It's not. If we go beat the Dolphins, we lost by 7. If we go beat the Dolphins, and then go beat the Chiefs, if we keep on that 14-0 momentum and go beat them, and then just score 1 touchdown against the Vikings, we're sitting up here in first place talking about how this is a huge game, and then we have an extended break going into that Kansas City game on Christmas.
Yeah.
But instead, we're here almost talking about draft boards and what this game really is mean for last place and everything.
And a lot of it has to do with the offensive play calling.
Yes.
A lot of it has to do with Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, the rookie at quarterback. And, Aiden showed some success in the preseason. And, obviously no one knows about him when he's in preseason playing quarterback. No one really knows about him. He's from Purdue. It wasn't like you have tape on him or you've seen him play for Alabama or LSU or one of these big schools. He goes out and he plays a couple of games and he looks solid and decent, but maybe other teams got him figured out and now he's just playing bad football.
Yeah, he's regressing. And it's crazy to think that after preseason, he was the talk. We wanted him. When Garoppolo went down, going into that Charger game, we wanted him. We got him. Even the Bear game. Hey, let's O'Connell. Now seeing a good handful of games from him, this is not our future. No. And you could say, well, he's a rookie. He's a 4th rounder. He's handling a $100 million offense. That's basically what it is. Best wide receiver in the league. Jacoby Myers is having a hell of a year. He's got Renfro, Jacobs in the back. Still can't do anything. Can't put up points. Can't move the ball. Now we're going halves and games now where we don't score, and that's just unacceptable.
We only scored 3 last week, and that's just unacceptable for sure. Jimmy Garoppolo, Nick, will he start for the Raiders on Thursday Night Football against the Chargers?
I don't know, and I'm. There's a part of me that says, yeah, you do it now, and then there's a part of me where we're 5-8. And this is just my thinking. I think he's a cut candidate. I looked at some things on Twitter. I think you can cut him post June and you save some money, but then you pay him next year and the year after that. I don't think they want him hurt. I don't think they want him touching the field. But then again, he's not inactive. He's active. He's the QB2. So I don't know. I think they should have put him in the second half of that Viking game. They didn't. And so it's just like, okay, well, then why now then? If you didn't put him in when it mattered then.
Yeah, I thought the last couple games, Jimmy should have gone in that Chief game toward the end, the third, fourth quarter of that game. And I thought 100% he needed to go in that Viking game. End of the half.
Yeah.
100% into the half. And at least when they put in Nick Mullins, you go in and you play chess with them and you put in Garoppolo and see what he can do. Now, Antonio Pierce got a decision to start Jimmy Garoppolo or keep riding with Aiden. But I don't know. If I'm Antonio Pierce, I know that I need to win. I'm riding with Jimmy Garoppolo at this point because Aiden is not playing good football. And we've, had some games like the Dolphin game where our defense played great, the Viking game where our defense played great, and O'Connell couldn't get it done. And you think maybe Jimmy could get it done. He got it done in San Francisco with a good defense. Every time the defense played good, Jimmy found a way to win. So if I'm Antonio Pierce, I'm going with Garoppolo in this one. But you never know what
You're
happens.
right, because it'd be interesting to see with defense finally finding their stride and playing good, and it's not just Max. The whole defense is playing together and playing really well. What would Jimmy's offense look like? Or what would Jimmy's just overall game look like? Because now we're not nitpicking, and now you can get off without scoring on some drives and whatever, because, we're holding people. Chargers haven't put up, I think, over 12 points in 3 games. So this could be one of those low-scoring games, too, and if he can just put up a couple touchdowns, that might be all we need. So it's just going to be interesting to see how he would play with the defense he has behind him.
How would Jimmy look with Bill Hardegree's offense?
And this is a total different.
You never know. What a disaster would be that. Not a disaster. This will be interesting. Imagine Garoppolo just goes off for 4 games in a row. What happens? What happens then?
And I told you, I said, I don't think we've seen the last of Jimmy G. I think he's going to come in a big spot. Somehow AOC's going to get benched or hurt. He's going to come out, win the ball game, and then go on a run after that. This could be it, And so I don't know. Maybe a change of quarterback would be good. But then again, I just don't want it to be too late.
I think it will be good for Jimmy to go in and play great for 4 games. So then you can go in and draft a quarterback comfortably in the first round. And then you have him as at least a good backup. Or even if our quarterback, they feel like he's not ready for some reason, even though I think, Caleb Williams is 100% ready. Jaden Daniels, I think, is pretty much ready. Drake May, pretty much ready. Caleb Williams is the for sure NFL. He looks like an NFL quarterback right now.
Yeah.
But Drake May and Jaden Daniels, those guys. Or they can go later and try to get Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah.
So if Jimmy plays good, I think it can relieve maybe some stress for the next GM in picking a quarterback and thinking Jimmy won last year. He can still win. We can maybe go with him next year. So I think it could be good if he wins. And maybe if he wins, a team loses a quarterback next year, maybe they want Jimmy Garoppolo.
There was a lot of that this
what I mean?
Past, yeah. No,
so
you're absolutely right.
I think it'll be good for Jimmy to play good.
Yeah. I think it's this is something that maybe AP Champ and Mark Davis come up and say, hey, what's the plan with him? Can we play him? Can we start him? Can we risk it? Because if he's definitely for sure to come back next year, then you go with him these next 4 games.
But the only bad thing is if he goes off, then our sixth pick, now maybe the 10th pick, and do we have the assets to trade up all the way to get a top 3, top 4 pick so you can get one of those 3 main guys that people are talking about?
And it would be a lot easier. Let's say we pick 5, 6. It's a lot easier to trade into 4, 3 than if we had a pick
and 11, 12,
10, 15
yeah.
range. Like we always have.
Yeah.
Or not always have, but there's been some times where it's like, man, I want this player, but then we go 8-8, 7-9, and then you're just like, oh, well, we're picking 14, 15. We have no shot. So it's a lot easier to pick when you're as close as can be to 1 through 3. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, should be interesting. Let's get more into this game preview. Now talking about the Raider offense. Obviously, we already talked about it. Jimmy G, AOC. You got all these weapons. Josh Jacobs may be out in this game, may play, most likely out.
Yeah.
And then you got Devontae Adams, who will play for sure. You got Jacoby Myers. And, you still got these rookies that, when they throw the ball to them, Trey Tucker, good things happen. Trey Tucker, didn't get his 2 feet in. I thought he might have got his 2 feet in last week for a big gain. That would have been a big, crucial play in that football game. I thought Aiden even threw a great ball to him. Like, I don't think he needed to throw it all the way on the sidelines. He could have just threw it to him. He was wide open. But when you throw to him, something good happens. Michael Mayer, throw to him, something good happens. Why doesn't this team utilize these rookies that we just drafted that have a lot of talent at the tight end position and a quick, speedy wide receiver?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. You got a big tight end that's hard to bring down, and you just seem not to throw to him. Trey Tucker, you got somebody you can utilize, and I'm not calling him a Tyreek Hill, but you can utilize him like that. He's fast. Throw him deep. Give him the ball on the run, and you go from that. And you don't do that. I think we have weapons. We just don't utilize them, and I don't know what these game plans are that, or stick to the game plan. Well, if they're not in the game plan, we've got talent. We just don't use it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't use those guys, but I guess we haven't been using Devontae the right way. I guess we haven't been using Jacoby Myers to the best of his ability and all these other guys that we have. But in games that we've been playing where the defense is playing great and you're just one big play away, I don't get why you just don't chuck the ball to Trey Tucker, see what happens, see if he comes down with it, maybe a big PI call. Anything can happen there. And then if you want to throw short passes all day and do little screen plays and just do little stuff like that, I don't get why you don't give it to the big guy in Michael Mayer, who can make people miss, actually, and he can avoid tackles,
hard to bring down,
and he's tough to bring down. So I don't get why you give it to him. Or the screen plays, I don't get why you give them to, like, Devontae. Like, give him to Trey Tucker. He's faster. He's quicker. I know Devontae can make plays, obviously, but utilize all these guys. And there was a point where Bo Hardegree came in the first 2 games and he looked so creative, and now it's like he's not creative at all. It's a basic offense. It's the Josh McDaniels offense that we have been accustomed to seeing early in this year and last year. So it's kind of frustrating offensively for the Raiders.
It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating that out of all these games that we've played, we've only scored over 20 once. And and we sit here and people on Twitter, we're just wait for us to click. Just wait for us to click. There is no clicking. This is already late in the season. We're mid-December. We've only scored 1 game over 20, and it's hard. It's hard to move the ball, and it's hard to score, and it just sucks because we haven't seen this in a while, to be honest with you. It's always kind of been defense, and now to sit there and have no offense, and now your defense is playing well, it's hard. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, defensively for the Raiders now, a team that is just playing great. A great defense. Max Crosby, Malcolm Koonce, Tyree Wilson, Robert Spillane, Diablo played good the other day. Nate Hobbs, Amik Robertson, all these guys. Trayvon Merrick, Marcus Epps. I mean, just a talented group of defensive guys. Patrick Graham, coming into his own, calling great games as a defensive coordinator for the Raiders, who may even be a candidate for the head coaching job for the Raiders next year. Patrick Graham, don't want to lose him. No matter what, you can't lose Patrick Graham. That's a big thing right there. But this Raider defense playing good, and I expect them to play good in this game. They're playing Easton Stick from North Dakota State. I know we've seen some games with Mullins back in the day, Badgett this year for the Bears. But I expect the Raiders defense to play good because they're just playing good defense right now. I don't care who's playing quarterback. I think this team's going to play good.
Yeah, defense is playing good. You're at home. You're not traveling anywhere. Short week. It has all the advantages for us. Defense just got to do what they do and just hope for a miracle that we put up some points.
Yeah, and I love the guys' attitude on this defense. After the Viking game, the post game, Amik Robertson pretty much said, we shouldn't give up those 3 points. You know what I mean? We should have got a turnover and won the game.
Yeah.
Tyree Wilson the same way, same attitude. Max Crosby, same attitude. This defense is not looking at their offense and pointing fingers. They're thinking we could do better to win the football game. And that's what I love about this defense. The mentality, the attitude, the confidence they have. They really genuinely, like Amik Robertson, when I watched his interview, Tyree Wilson and Max Crosby, they genuinely felt like the defense let us down today. Yeah. We should have won, even though it was a 3-0 football game. There's a guy like Nate Hobbs who's talking about it that you could tell in his face, man, the offense ruined it for us. But those guys, and that's nothing bad for Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs played a great game, and Nate Hobbs deserves to have that opinion because that's he didn't say that, but you can just tell on his face.
No,
he deserves to have that opinion because the offense is so bad. You only give up 3. Like, that's embarrassing. But I love the attitudes by these guys thinking, like, you know what? We need to play better football defensively. And I think they're going to go out and, I think the Raiders should hold the Chargers to under 10.
Yeah.
I expect them to hold them under 10.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't scored, like I said, they haven't scored a lot of points in these last 3 weeks. You just came off of giving up 3, and so it should be. This should be, I'm not going to say a walk in the park, but this should be a good one for this defense going up against their quarterback too, and a short week and everything. It has all of the advantages for us.
Raiders, Chargers, Thursday Night Football. Let's get into our keys of the game, Nick. You started off. First key of the game for the Las Vegas Raiders.
It's a turnover battle. Win the turnover battle. Don't turn the ball over and create a lot of turnovers as you can. We need more possessions. We need more opportunities to score. You saw what happened last week. Win the turnover battle.
Yeah, I'm with you. Turnover battle. Let's win the turnover battle. If we win it, I think we can win this football game. Defensively, I think we're going to need to be able to get some fumbles, some picks, and I think it's going to need to be multiple of those. So 2 or 3, and I think we can win this game. Yeah, for sure.
My second one stopped Khalil Mack. He had 6 sacks last time. That wasn't fun to watch. And ran right all over us. Let's stop him, double team him, chip block, do whatever you got to do. Make sure he doesn't come near the quarterback.
Defensive line, keep it going. Keep getting that pressure on the quarterback. Keep setting the edge so the running backs don't get big gains. Keep playing good. Defensive line. Love what you guys are doing.
My last one is be better. Offense, be better. Bo Hardegree, be better. We didn't score. We didn't score at all last week, and it sucked. And it was nothing like, well, we could have done this. We could have done this. Defense did their job. Defense gave up 3. I'm not going to tell them to be better because they played almost a perfect game last week. Offense, Bo Hardegree, play calling, whoever the quarterback is, be better, and let's win this week.
Antonio Pierce, I think the last couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I think you haven't been utilizing your timeouts in the right spots to give us the best chance to win, give us the best chance to score offensively. Call your timeouts, before the end of the half. Give your offense some time to score. Even if your offense is struggling, nothing we can lose now. Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose. Just let this offense work. Utilize the timeouts. Man, just be a good head coach this week. Be perfect in your head coaching job. Try to win a job for the Raiders as a head coach.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our offensive and defensive player of the game prediction for the Raiders this week. We'll start offensively.
I'm going to go Devontae Adams. He needs 100 and something more yards for a 1,000-yard season. He's not the reason why this offense is stalling or whatever. I think he goes out Thursday night, has a big game, hopefully 100 yards, couple touchdowns, and he gets back on track.
With the uncertainty at the quarterback position, I'll take Jacoby Myers. A guy that's been playing good all year, makes great catches. He looks like a number 1 receiver in the National Football League, and I think he's going to continue that success against the Chargers. Hopefully, the quarterbacks can get the ball to our 2 guys for the Raiders. Defensively, Nick?
I'm going to go Matt Crosby. I haven't picked him in a while. Last week, what he did was incredible. 10 tackles, couple sacks. I think he does the same exact thing, and he adds on to his Defensive Player of the Year. Give me
Amik Robertson. I love Amik. I've always said on this show, I like Amik's attitude. I like his aggressiveness. His aggressiveness is of someone of the Raiders. He's a Raider guy, and his accountability he takes for this team is awesome. I think Amik is going to have a big game. I think Amik is going to get a big pick in this game, and I'm calling it a pick 6 that will win this football game for the Raiders. Amik.
I like that.
I like it too.
I do like it, yeah.
Before, we've been calling the pick 6 for Marcus Peters. We think Marcus Peters is going to get one, but Marcus Peters is gone now. But Amik is someone I really like. He's a playmaker, and he's going to make plays.
Yeah, and you know what I think too is offensively, I was thinking about Daniel Carlson. I think it's going to be a field goal type of game, but I didn't want to say, whatever, but it might be a field goal type of game.
He's going to need to make a 68-yarder for us to, he's going to need to break the NFL record for us to win this game.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good one. I mean, we're going to get into our scores right now, but it's kind of a head scratching what's going to happen, but I think when it comes down to it tomorrow, we're going to be feeling this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are obviously going to win this game.
Yes.
And let's head into our score predictions then, Nick.
With that being said, I think we win 17-10. I think it's going to be low scoring. We're not going to score over 20. They come in, you know, their offense is struggling without Keenan Allen, us without Colton Miller. Who knows about Jacobs? Who knows our quarterback situation? We win 17-10.
The Raiders are going to win 10-6 in this game. Why are you laughing? I'm serious.
We never had that score on here, but I mean, you're right.
Oh, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
With how these two teams are playing, yes, exactly.
It's going to be 6-3 Chargers into the third or fourth quarter, and then a meek pick six, 10-6 Raiders win. I'm calling it. I'm calling it.
Hell yeah.
What if it hits?
If that hits, then that's crazy.
If that hits, can I bet that? Can I bet a 10-6 score for the Raiders Charger game?
Can you go to Vegas and say, hey, it's going to be 6-3, and then Amik's going to come in, pick six. Well, that's how it's going to go down.
I'm looking at these tickets on the ESPN app, and they're as low as $100, Nick.
Yeah,
the Raiders Charger game. That's crazy. Hasn't been a game this low in Allegiant Stadium. This might be the first game in Allegiant Stadium that might not be sold out.
Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right. I had a chance to go to this game, but with the way they were playing and too close to Christmas, I didn't want to chance it.
Yeah, the Raiders and the Charger fans might not want to come to this game because it's just no Herbert for the Chargers, no Keenan Allen for the Raiders, just bad offensive play. And do you really want to pay to go into a game and pay for a hotel and do all that to watch your team, only score 3 like last week? Like that's bad.
And the way this offense is playing and just the uncertainty with everything, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're not giving anything to Raider fans to be like, hey, you need to come and watch us.
No.
It's just, no, I'm okay. I'm going to just watch it on my couch.
Yeah.
Or we'll make it, it's nothing fun to see right now. We got to go back to playing where it's fun to watch. The last Sunday wasn't fun to watch.
No.
I was mad.
It was miserable.
You were just mad for 60 minutes of playtime, and even if we won, kicked 2 field goals or a touchdown, it's just like, really? You had 58 minutes to score, and it's sad right now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And it's sad that me and you FaceTime after the Viking game, and we're just like, okay, it's off-season time. It could be off-season time now. So, let's go through these next 4, hopefully show something, and, get momentum for next year, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, tricky situation as Raider fans. Obviously, you don't want to watch your team lose.
No, yeah, exactly.
But then again, we want a good draft pick as well.
Then again, we want the future. Because
we want the future quarterback. Because we don't have a quarterback. There's a couple, 2 or 3 good quarterbacks in this draft that, analysts are saying are damn near for sure things. And you want one of those 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then you're going to have to get one of those other guys in the late first or second, and Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
When I was in Vegas last week, I had a chance to pick between the Laker game and the Raider game, Nick. Just me even thinking that I was going to pick the Raider game frustrates me because of how bad the Raiders played. And I'm frustrated for everyone that went to that Raider game. I'm absolutely frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is something where you need to complain. You need to get your money back for that one. Because that's for you to go to a Raider game, spend a weekend in Vegas, go to that game, and the Raiders score nothing.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
The good thing is Max Crosby got his sacks, and the defense played so good that, as a fan, watching on defense must have been a great time in that game. So that's a good thing. But
yeah.
No. Lose 3-0.
But I understand your decision. You don't have a good track record with the Raiders, and when you watch them, these past 3 games, you watched them. So
yeah, the past 3 games I've been to bad games.
And the last year we went to 2, and that was just
we went to 2 bad games. And we went to the Cardinal game,
and we went to the Ram game.
The Cardinal game, Renfro fumbles, picks it up, takes it to the end zone. Cardinals win, home opener. And then we go later in the year. The Raiders are starting to get hot. The Rams game, and the Raiders lose that one. Baker Mayfield.
That was
game. And then I go to the Charger game this year where O'Connell throws a pick in the end zone. It felt like we were about to win it.
Yeah.
The good thing is we went to the Raider Charger game to take us to the playoffs, so we have that in Allegiant Stadium.
If this is what it took for them to win that game, then I'm fine with it, because that was one of the best games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah, I mean, let's get back to a serious note. These last 4 games are going to be something to watch. I don't even know how to honestly, I don't know how to feel about these last 4. Mathematically we're not out of it, but if we win, it hurts us. If we lose, I think we're getting closer to that future quarterback that we need.
Yeah, and that's the honest answer from you right there.
And I mean,
but you don't want to just go out and say it because you're a Raider fan. You don't want us to lose.
I don't want us to go out tomorrow night and lose 20-0 or whatever. And you're just like, man, no, I want something fun to watch too, and I want everybody to have their success. I think Max Crosby's having a defensive player of the year type of year. He's everywhere, and that's with a hurt knee and him, being not on the field that much a couple weeks ago. So it's just interesting to see these next 4 weeks.
All that being said, the Raiders will win. The Raiders will win tomorrow.
But we will win tomorrow night.
We will win on Thursday night football because I think the Raiders have more pieces than they do, and the Chargers are a struggling team. We're gonna win. They're gonna fire Brandon Staley. I guess we'll get someone fired.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
The fun thing to look forward to in these next 2 games. Boom, Raiders, Chargers, let's get Brandon Staley fired. He's going to get fired no matter what. Let's be the Raiders, do the one that have the nail in the coffin for that one. Let's get Brandon Staley fired, and let's go beat the Chiefs and take them out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would be fun to take them out of a playoff spot. Play spoiler.
Uh-huh.
Let's take them out of a playoff spot, and then let's take the Broncos out of a playoff spot. The Chiefs are back in it.
I remember in, 15? When Raiders did that, they didn't win until like week 10, week 11.
Yep.
And then they won all the rest of their home games, and we ended the season like 3 or 4 wins. But we played spoiler, everybody.
Yeah.
We're beating playoffs, so it just, let's have some fun and let's.
We can't be in it. You can't be in it either.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, this is going to be fun to watch tomorrow night.
Yeah, rest of the season. We'll see how it goes. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys for the game recap. Raiders versus Chargers on Thursday Night Football. Root for your team. Root for them hard. We want the Raiders to win. We can't lose to this team. We don't like the Chargers. We don't like them, Nick.
No.
We can't lose to them.
This is the AFC showdown. No matter if it's Denver, Kansas City, or the Chargers, we got all 3 of them. Let's go win them. I hate the rest of the AFC West. Let's go win them.
Hey, everybody in the NFL. AFC West showdown. Hate them a little bit more. We'll see you guys after the game. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.